Good evening, everyone. It's Mara, and I know I'm a little dark right now, but this was the best I can do with the lighting that I have where I'm visiting. So welcome to SOQI night, and tonight we're going to talk about, let me silence my phone. We're going to talk about the SOQI graphene belt and the FIR pad because they're wonderful for aches, pains, and slimming. So I hope everybody's doing well tonight. So remember, the information I'm sharing is for educational purposes only. It's not meant to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any diseases, and it's not been approved by the FDA. So when I look at the SOQI graphene belt and the FIR pad, and I think about how many people are dealing with back pain or how many of us are dealing with the midlife midsection, we're talking about a huge amount of people that we can help with these products. So tonight we're going to talk about both of these products and these topics and how you can use them to help people with both of these issues. So when we look at lower back pain or back pain and we look at the spine, it's totally amazing. It keeps us upright. It protects our spinal cord, all the bones or vertebrae in the spine, along with the discs form a column or channel around the spinal cord to protect it. And the spinal cord's essential for our health. It's part of our central nervous system, and it controls many of the cells in the body. And it also uses motor, reflex, and sensory neurons, and these neurons control how we move, how our glands function, how we react to external stimulus. And it's why we feel pain and respond to the temperature around us, which is pretty amazing. So people that have back issues, it's a big thing because our column corresponds to all the areas and glands throughout our body. The cervical vertebrae corresponds to the head area. So when you think of issues like migraine, insomnia, dizziness, amnesia, facial nerves, ear inflammation, that's also all the cervical vertebrae. The thoracic vertebrae corresponds to the neck and the chest. The lumbar vertebrae corresponds to our lower back, and that can relate to constipation, diarrhea, hernia, varicose veins, menstrual pains, sciatica, painful knees, difficulty in urinating or too frequent urination, weak legs, painful soles of the feet, and uremia. So that's all in the lumbar vertebrae. And then we have the sacrum, which may include different leg lengths, bladder inflammation, and then we have the coccyx, which is the tailbone. So when we take a look at back pain, that's why lower back pain can wreak such havoc and have such varying symptoms for people. Some people, maybe their feet hurt, some people their knees hurt, some people their back actually hurts. But about 30% of all Americans are currently experiencing back pain right now while we're watching this SOQI night video. Back pain is actually the #1 cause of lost work days and the leading cause of disability worldwide, and primarily affects adults of working age. Unfortunately, when you look at statistics, of almost 80% of us are going to experience some type of back pain during our life, according to experts, especially as we age. So what are the causes of low back pain? Well, you can have muscle and or ligament strains and sprains. You can have fractures. You can have bone spurs. You can have disc problems, structural problems, arthritis, osteoporosis. There's certain diseases that affect the lower back and spine, sciatica, and this pain can be acute or chronic. So when back pain or lower back pain is due to an injury or illness, like arthritis, determining the cause is really easy. With an injury, the disc, the cushion of vertebrae between, can become herniated or ruptured, causing some of the gel that cushions it to leak, which creates inflammation and pain. With an illness like arthritis, there's usually some type of degeneration, wearing down the cartilage, or sometimes creating some bone spurs that lead to compression, again creating inflammation and pain. However, the big issue here is that most of the time with lower back pain, they can't really identify what the cause is. So when we look at back pain or inflammation, it's one of our body's way of taking care of us, and it tells our body that there's a problem going on and send in its army to help. So if you're like me and have had problems in the past with back pain, lower back pain, or sciatic pain, you may have known what caused your discomfort, and maybe you didn't. So when my lower back pain occurred, I knew what I had done. I definitely overdid it physically, creating an injury that led to inflammation and pain. So who's at risk for lower back pain? That would be aging, lack of exercise, weak muscles in your back or abdomen, excess weight, diseases, certain types of cancer and arthritis, psychologically prone to depression and anxiety tend to have higher back pain, and smoking. So the issue here is to keep your spine healthy and maintain and manage your back pain. So you want to stand up smart. You don't want to slouch. You want to maintain a neutral pelvic position. If you have to stand for long periods, place one foot on a low footstool to take some of the load off your lower back. Alternate your feet, and good posture can reduce the stress on your back muscles. You want to sit smart, like I'm sitting right now. Choose a seat with good lower back support, armrests, and a swivel base. Placing a pillow or rolled towel in the small of your back can help. And lift smart. Avoid heavy lifting if possible, and you need to lift something heavy. Let your legs do the work. Keep your back straight. No twisting, no bending. And if you do bend, bend at your knees, not at your back. Stay hydrated. Our joints love to be hydrated. It's one of the biggest keys to keeping your spine healthy. Dehydration actually causes back pain because it dries out your discs, and your spine has many discs within its structure located between the vertebrae, and those discs are the spine's cushion. So if you think of these discs as jelly donuts, these discs need water to stay moist, allowing the body to maintain proper function and movement. Who wants to eat a dried out jelly donut? So if you don't drink water and you have back pain, start drinking more water. In fact, experts say drink half your weight in ounces of water each day, especially in warmer weather. You want to eat for health. So, you know, the body's response to inflammation, it's red, warm, and swollen. So eat for health, which would be fruits and veggies that are green and rich in color. Carrots, beets, sweet potatoes, cherries, berries, grapes, pomegranate, watermelon, spinach, kale, and broccoli. Add some herbs to your dishes: basil, cinnamon, ginger, rosemary, turmeric, garlic, and onion. Those are very warming. Omega-3s and healthy fats like chia seeds, flax, olive oil, avocado, salmon, mackerel, sardines, herring, tuna, and trout, and lean proteins. There are a lot of foods out there that can actually create more inflammation in the body for some people, and some of the most common foods that can often create more problems for people are your nightshade vegetables like tomatoes, eggplant, white potatoes, and peppers. Processed foods, lunch meat, and fast foods, dairy and gluten, white bread, pasta, rice, crackers, chips, pastries, sugary snacks, sodas, and fried foods. So if you're having an issue with your back pain, besides using the graphene belt and fur pad, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, doing these healthy lifestyle habits are also going to help. Stretching is a key. So exercises such as low impact aerobics, which makes me think of the chi machine, supporting your knees with a pillow, starting out slow, helping your muscles move, and stretching have been very beneficial. Many pain experts feel that stretching and walking can help reduce chronic pain and may even prevent pain from returning. So some basic stretches: touch your toes, put your knees to your chest, do a piriformis seated stretch, cat and cow, cobra, in a restful pose. And remember, when you're stretching, to hold for 30 seconds and get a PT consult. There's always a thing that you hear, and alternate hot with cold, and why fur heat is so much better. So usually when you have an injury, they always recommend to alternate ice and heat. So when do you use both? So treatment for the lower back, heat or ice. You're going to use heat when you have tighter, stiff muscles, overexertion, muscle knots, spasms after you ice the area, cramps, arthritis, or you need to soothe and relax an area, that's when you're going to want to apply heat. The goal for heat is to decrease pain, increase circulation, help you heal faster, relax your muscles, and get you up and moving. When are you going to use ice? On every fresh injury. So if you have an injury and you're red, inflamed, and swollen, you have torn or pulled muscles, you have immediate spasms, or when you overexercise, you want to use ice first, those first 2 days of a fresh injury, and for 15 to 20 minutes at a time, about every 2 hours. The goal for the ice is to reduce the inflammation. So those first 48 hours, the ice is going to be beneficial, but then as you move forward, you want to use heat, because at that point we're wanting to get rid of more of the pain. So what type of heat should you use? Well, deep massage is better than topical light massage to increase circulation, to increase healing. So penetration is also key when we're looking at heat, just like a massage is. So a couple therapists actually did a study, Bob and Brad, and they said they looked at an electric heating pad, a moist heating pad, and an infrared, far infrared heating pad. And the electric heating pad kind of warms your skin, doesn't have very much penetration. Moist heat, about the same. It appears to go deeper, but it actually doesn't. And the FIR heat can go in quite a ways. They say almost 2 inches, and it's a radiant heat, so it feels warm to touch, safer for the skin, and much less chance of burning. Penetration's also deep and gets to the muscle and promotes circulation. And far infrared rays are the beneficial rays from the sun. All living things emit that. So when we look at ice and heat, if you have a fresh injury, you want to ice, but when you go to use heat, you want to grab your graphene belt and you want to, or the FIR pad. So that's why my 2 favorite products for the back are the SOQI Far Infrared Heating Pad and the graphene belt. Very helpful for reducing all sorts of muscle aches and pain. Far infrared helps promote circulation, helping to reduce that overflow of inflammation, promotes relaxation, helps reduce muscular aches, tensions, and twinges, and helps back with back soreness, and relaxes your tight muscles. So I use a FIR pad a lot on my back, and Sam uses a graphene belt. Sam absolutely loves a graphene belt. He barely uses a FIR pad anymore since a graphene belt came out. But you can use this belt on your lower back to deeply penetrate your lower back muscles, promoting warmth, increased circulation to help relieve pain and promote healing. So when I use the FIR pad, I use it on my back at about 113 or 131 degrees. 20 to 30 minutes is good. I don't like to use it at 131 degrees if I'm going to remain active. If I'm winding down for the evening and I'm going to like use it and then sit around or go to bed, I'll use 131, but I don't want to apply that much heat if I'm going to remain active. Sam uses the graphene belt. He does 2 cycles on it on the blue setting. You know, it goes green, blue, red. So he uses the blue setting on 2 cycles, and he said that almost always totally gets rid of his back pain. And he's had, you know, has a history of some back surgeries and a lot of lower back issues. So the SOQI graphene belt he really, really likes. So how do they work? Well, the SOQI graphene belt utilizes graphene to provide its warmth. And graphene is an allotrope of carbon. It's very eco-friendly and has been proven to greatly improve heating efficiency. It also was found to be one of the best providers of far infrared, which is why it's so beneficial. The FIR pad also utilizes FIR heat through its specialized galvanic carbon wire. So, like I said earlier, low, mid, and high temperature control It has a safety feature, the graphene belt. It's going to auto power off in 30 minutes. Sam says his battery will run 2 or 3 cycles, the USB power bank. So if you haven't tried that, the graphene belt, and you do have lower back issues, I highly recommend it. I have used it, and it really, really works well. So there was actually a study done to determine the amount of chronic lower back pain relief one would achieve using far-infrared therapy, and the individuals in the study used a FIR waistband, not ours, but a competitor's, doing 7 weekly sessions in the 8 to 12 micron wavelength, and it was extremely effective in reducing chronic low back pain with no adverse side effects. So if you're targeting your back, or targeting your back, you're going to use the graphene belt. I suppose if it was in your mid-back, you could probably use the belt over that as well, and the FIR pad. But you can also turn these products around and use them over your abdomen to tone your abdomen, because warmth accelerates your metabolism. So many of you know that America has a concern of people growing, and we're growing larger every year. The obesity epidemic is huge. 40% of adults, 20% of children, 18% of children under 11, 14% of children under 5. And it leads to an increased risk of death due to heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. So if you have a graphene belt, you may want to try it to slim your abdomen. The subcutaneous fat actually stored just below our skin in our arms, abdomen, or legs. You can see it. Visceral fat is a type of fat stored deep within your abdomen, where it pads the spaces between your organs. And that's the type of fat that's most detrimental to our health. Now, you don't have to be heavy to have this subcutaneous fat. That subcutaneous fat is just how certain people store fat, and that's when you'll see kind of the little dimples in the legs, arms, and abdomen, and they seem to come on more frequently as we age. So when we look at the SOQI FIR pad and the graphene belt, it warms up the body tissues, it improves circulation, it increases the metabolism. All heat increases the metabolism. You're going to sweat, and that can help eliminate toxins, and it's very great for slimming. There's a lot of salons out there that have these far-infrared slimming suits, and they use those as any anti-cellulite or subcutaneous fat program. So it also promotes lymphatic movement, and can reduce water retention and cellulite. So to use the belt, you're just going to put it on backwards and place it on your abdomen for slimming and sculpting. And then if you're going to use the FIR pad, you're just going to place it on your abdomen. I personally, if I use either one on my abdomen, I love the Bianca Body Profile Cream. You can even put that on your back, because it's great for pain relief. Sometimes if I have a backache, I'll just put it on my back to help relieve pain. It's got guarana, cinnamon, ginger, and capsicum. It really supports blood and lymph circulation, and helps to slim and shape your figure. So I hope that gives you an idea of how big an issue back pain is, and how these two products can really, really help you. So remember, our body makes billions of cells each and every day, so choose to create healthy cells by living a healthy lifestyle. Share and like this video. If you're a distributor, put your distributor number in for a free FIR pad. This month the products are on special. The Chi for $465, the ERE for $420, the E-Power for $620, and the FIR Dome for $960. So share these holiday specials through the end of the month. And I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving, enjoying time with their family and friends, which is why I'm on vacation in kind of a dark room. And I am very tired tonight, so I apologize if I was a little there. So everybody take care, and we'll see you next month.